right.
All right. Good afternoon, Dr. Bernard. How are you doing today?
Hey, good afternoon, Kumaran. I'm doing great. How about you?
Very well, thank you. Very well. And we are so excited to speak to you today. And
Yeah.
it's such an interesting concept and a new topic that we are going to talk about. Such an interesting thing, character coach. Could you please tell me how that came about?
All right. So in 2008, actually, I studied something called human profiling, and I found that it's not enough to help more people to understand themselves. So on the internet, when I was doing research, there was this lady professor. She said that in this world, there's such a thing called universal character. And she went to say that she believes nobody have actually discovered this methodology. So out of curiosity, I went into internet to make research, and I found so many profiling methodologies. And then that made me start my journey into understanding more about behaviors, personalities, and character. And during this research, I found many other methodologies that I'm alien to, some of them, but I managed to compile all this together and put into a comparison chart. I use Pythagoras character development theory, which talk about common factors. And what I have is something very unique. But the most profiling methodologies talk about personalities or behavioral science. So in my discovery, it is more about your character, right? Which is inborn, which is actually destiny and nature. And I also found that behaviors and personality can be nurtured. And that's where I started doing all this research.
We were talking, Doctor, about how financial consultants and agency leaders can use this character coaching for their business.
Yes. So what happened is that the current profiling methodologies out there in the market, they only talk about behavior or personality profiling. Now, most important thing is that to decide what to buy, right? We call this psychology of selling. You need to know how a person think and act and see and do. We need to know exactly what they think, basing on their character, because character decides what to buy, what not to buy, not your personality or behaviors. So when I was doing this research, I found that our character actually defines us, right? And more important thing is that when you want to buy something, at the end of the day, it's your character which decide what to buy. So during this research itself, I found that the clarity of your character is very important. So character actually will help you to understand what you want to buy.
That's lovely. I just want to bring, I remember you shared with me that your daughter is in the insurance line as well, right?
Yeah.
And you shared with me a very interesting story when you spoke to her. Could you probably share it with our audience as well?
Yeah, actually my daughter, I remember she graduated from NTU, and then she was recruited to be a financial advisor. Prior to that, actually, she was asked to purchase a policy. And what happened was, when she came home and I told her, I said, darling, you bought this policy, right? Endowment policy. She said, how do you know? I said, you were not there. I said, oh, because your profile said so. And she was very surprised. And she wanted to become a financial advisor. I still remember one of my brothers was saying, you studied 4 years in university and you want to sell insurance. So I told my daughter to tell your uncle why you want to sell insurance. So she said that, I love to do what I'm doing, and because it's something to do with human touch. So I said, okay. And then I said, you prove to them. So because I look at the profile, I know she can become a financial advisor. Now she's born in, let me see, what years? olfactory in neuro-linguistic programming, meaning to say that she has good sense of directions, and then she's actually a very filial and a loyal person, and she likes to actually do service. And when she joined the industry, I still remember there was once she wanted to see a client from Hong Kong, and I told her, I said, do you have a birthday? And she shared with me, I said, I said, this person here is likely to buy investment policy. Don't show her anything about whole life or endowment.
Right.
And then she told me, okay. But when she was meeting this lady, she actually started off with whole life policy. And this lady said, can you talk to me something about other policy as not whole life? Then she showed this client endowment policy. And this client said, do you have something else? So she showed her investment policy.
Right.
And then to her surprise, when she came back, she said, how do you know that my client wants to buy an investment policy and not others? I said, actually, I doubt what you say, and I just want to try out, see what happens. But really, she actually wants to buy an investment policy.
Right.
How do you know? So with my sharing with her how people think and see and act and do, and how you respond, she actually within 3 years, right? Last year she actually she qualified, and she achieved something called $1 million round table, something like that.
Right. The
Oh,
MBA.
so she was so happy, and 2 weeks ago she received her certificate. She was very, very happy, right?
Amazing.
So again, here very important thing is that you need to know whether you can do this business or not. Not trying without knowing whether you can do this business or not.
Right.
And the most important thing is that even if you are not suitable, right, to do insurance, but then if you know yourself and you know what other people think, see and act and do, you actually can also market this to them.
Correct. Yeah. No, you're so right, Dr. Bernard. I mean, I like that idea of identifying someone's own personality first, whether they
Yes.
and it could be as a financial consultant, or it could be as an agency leader, right? And the second part, which I find very interesting, is to beyond the process of knowing your client, you are preparing yourself. It is like a business plan, a business strategy for yourself before you go out for a client appointment, or even agency leaders before you go out for recruitment.
Yes, that's right.
Right. And
so
I think you've worked with some of them, right?
Yeah, so I call this research universal clarity of the mind. It's so important that you need to know the person's character, what they think, what is in their mind, what they want to buy. Rather than when you see them and then you start to talk to them about different kind of policies,
right,
and that might put them off, right? And then most important thing is that this methodology understand a person's character, which is actually the universal communication language, how they talk. So, for example, if let's say your client is a visual person, but if you are an auditory person, so if you talk to your client, you keep saying that I want you to listen to what I'm telling you. I want to listen, but your client is a visual person. Then how do you close the deal?
right.
So if you can talk to your client and the client is a visual person, you can say, oh, I want you to imagine what happened in 5 years' time. This policy is going to mature, right? I want you to see a big picture. I like you to review and reflect what I just shared with you. All these are visual language that you talk to your client. And then to do that, you can close the deal faster. I have a trainee who actually is in the financial industry, and he's a Malaysian. So he told me that in the past 10 clients that he sees, he closed 2 deals. But with this methodology, he said, I can close 8 deals.
Right.
It's so easy and it's so fast. I understand what they need. So you don't go for the want. In this methodology, you go for the need. Their need. What are their needs instead of the want? So there's something more important. Yeah.
I agree, Dr. Bernard. This is so interesting for us to look at. And I'm also very much excited to work with you on the program so that we can bring it out to financial consultants and agencies.
Yes. I'm most glad to help. Yeah.
That's in looking forward to it, sir. If you could just share with me a bit more details about this program, small brief ones that we can share with our community of financial consultants.
Okay. Basically, this program teaches you clarity of your client, their needs. 3 things you need to know as an advisor in this area. Number 1, you need to know, right? Because knowing is knowledge. So you have clarity of what your clients need. The second thing you need to know is understanding, right? Understanding is actually skills, the skills that you need to present to your client. And the third thing is how to apply your knowledge and what the needs your client want, and apply it in the real world scenario. That means to say that what your client wants to have, and with what they have, they can actually use the saving they have in the okay. You like to ask again? Sorry.
Go ahead, doctor. So a bit more about this program that we can share with the financial consultants and agency leaders.
Yeah. I just to share that as a advisor, you need to know your client, what are their needs instead of the wants. Because character helps to decide a person's what they think, you actually can use this methodology. No, sorry, I'm lost again. Okay, so as an advisor, you need to know what your clients need. So three keys that you need to know. Number one is knowledge of your client, what the needs are. So you're very clear about what are the intention, and then so that you can focus and concentrate on what they want. Number two is actually about understanding what they want to buy, right? And understanding also comes with the skills. What skills do you have to apply into what they need? And the third thing is called mastery. Mastery is actually how to apply your knowledge on your client, what they need, right? And I always use the word apply in the real world scenario. That means to say you need to know how these policies can help them in the future. Future needs that's very, very important. Now, when you know, understand, and master who your client is, then it gives you 4 P's. 4 P's is that before you see your client, you can actually prepare what you need to talk to them about. The second P we talk about is to predict, right? To predict that how this policy can help them in their future. And that thing is about prevention, how to prevent unnecessary challenges during your presentations. And the last thing here is to perfect, right, what you need to market to them. That's very important. So these 4 P's are interrelated to the first 3 things I said. That is, you need to know, understand, and master who they are, what they have in mind.
That's so perfect, Dr. Bernard. I think you nailed it there. I'm just going to recap on the 3 main plays for all our audience out there, financial consultants and agency leaders: knowledge, understanding, and mastery.
Yes.
3 main plays which lead to the 4 P's, which is preparation, being able to predict, prevention, and of course, perfection.
Yes.
That's perfect.
Perfection, that's right.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bernard. So we are looking forward to having our session with you. And once again, thank you so much for this wonderful insight.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to working with you soon, bringing this program.
Thank you, Kumaran.
Thanks so much.